Welcome to AI Dispatch, your channel for the latest AI videos on YouTube. If you don't want to miss these updates, please like, subscribe, and share. Koning, a Harvard Business School professor, has published research showing that AI tools can reduce struggling entrepreneurs' profits by 10%. His field experiments span Kenya to INSEAD's global founder programs, and the patterns he's uncovered challenge the entire narrative around AI democratizing opportunity. His work forces a reckoning with assumptions about technology, talent, and what it actually takes to succeed in business. Koning teaches entrepreneurship at Harvard Business School and conducts field research on how AI affects real-world business outcomes. His studies include randomized trials with Kenyan entrepreneurs and a global founder sprint at INSEAD tracking 500 plus participants. The data he's collected reveals uncomfortable truths about who benefits when powerful tools become widely available. Koning's research begins with a finding that sounds impossible. Providing AI access to low-performing entrepreneurs caused their profits to drop by 10%. This comes from a randomized trial he conducted in Kenya, where small business owners received ChatGPT via WhatsApp. The entrepreneurs who were already struggling used the tool frequently, but their outcomes worsened. Koning states explicitly that these business owners would have been better off never receiving the AI in the first place. The mechanism behind this failure reveals something fundamental about how capability interacts with tools. Low performers lacked what Koning calls judgment, the ability to distinguish strategic insight from plausible sounding noise. When the AI generated 5 potential business strategies, these entrepreneurs consistently selected the wrong option because they lacked the foundational instincts that separate viable paths from dead ends. The AI didn't compensate for their weak decision making. It amplified it, allowing them to execute poor choices with greater speed and confidence. High-performing entrepreneurs, using identical tools, saw their results improve. This creates a stark conclusion. AI doesn't level the playing field. It magnifies existing judgment. Access to technology is not the barrier to success. The barrier is the ability to evaluate what the technology produces. This insight directly contradicts the widely held belief that distributing powerful tools will close economic gaps. Koning's work at INSEAD provides a second data point that reshapes how we think about startup economics. He co-led the AI Founder Sprint, a program involving over 500 founders across multiple continents. Participants learned to build businesses as AI-native operations. The measurable outcome, their capital requirements dropped by approximately $250,000. The explanation lies in a shift from human capital to computational capital. Traditional startups scale by hiring people, engineers, designers, customer service teams. Each hire adds salary, benefits, and management overhead. AI native founders replace much of this human labor with API calls. Koning uses Gamma, a presentation software company, as an example. Delivering high-quality design at scale would traditionally require thousands of graphic designers. That model collapses under payroll costs. Gamma embeds AI into the product, scaling through compute rather than headcount. This represents a structural change in what a company is. Growth is no longer constrained by how many people a founder can manage. The constraint becomes how much compute can be allocated. The firm transforms from a people management challenge into a resource allocation problem. This transformation leads to a redefinition of leadership itself. If the CEO is no longer managing teams of humans, the role shifts to something Koning describes as allocating intelligence. He draws a parallel to Warren Buffett, whose competitive edge was capital allocation, and McKinsey, whose advantage was talent allocation. The emerging strategic skill is determining which intelligence handles which task. Koning admits this is a daily struggle for him personally. He faces constant decisions about what to delegate to ChatGPT versus what to handle himself. He predicts this granular orchestration, deciding that creative drafting goes to Claude, coding architecture goes to Lovable or DeepSeek, and ethical decisions remain with humans will become the core strategic function of every organization. Competitive advantage won't come from accessing the best models, since everyone rents from the same providers. It will come from proprietary context and the specific orchestration of those models. The CEO becomes a conductor of synthetic intelligences. Yet there's a fundamental problem with how these intelligences are currently deployed. Koning observes that every platform is building chatbots, SaaS tools, universities, e-commerce sites. He argues this approach is structurally flawed. The issue is execution friction. If a chatbot tells a non-technical entrepreneur in Kenya to update their website CSS, that advice is operationally useless. the entrepreneur cannot act on it. The solution Koning envisions is a shift from advisory AI to agentic AI. Instead of a bot that talks, the system becomes a virtual employee that acts. He describes a scenario where a small business owner in Nairobi doesn't receive marketing advice, but employs a virtual agent that executes marketing campaigns with the proficiency of a New York professional. When describing this possibility, Koning's enthusiasm is audible. He exclaims how transformative it would be. This redefines software from a tool you use to a laborer you employ. A final concept Koning highlights comes from Drew Bent, head of education at Anthropic, and it inverts the relationship between human and machine. We assume humans set strategy and machines execute tactics. Humans are the architects. Computers are the hands. Bent suggests preparing for an inversion of control. In this scenario, the AI handles high-level strategic thinking processing, vast complexities to determine optimal courses of action, and then delegates to the human for final approval based on taste and judgment. The human becomes the localized filter for strategy generated by a superior synthetic intellect. This repositions us from architects of business to quality control for machine-generated strategy. Koning warns that the biggest risk for the next generation of founders isn't lack of technical skill, but lack of earned insight. If AI is used to bypass the struggle of learning, the result is a beautiful product nobody wants, because the founder never developed the taste required to judge the AI's output. The tools can build anything, but they cannot tell you what is worth building. Koning's final piece of advice addresses this risk directly. He cautions that many founders overbuild because AI tools make creation enjoyable. They spend weeks adding features only to discover no one wants the product. His recommendation, find the smallest AI unlock in a user's workflow. Focus on the minimum intervention that delivers immediate value, rather than constructing elaborate systems that look impressive but solve no real problem. If you're interested in the video featured in this episode, click the link below to watch the original.